And so let's start by creating a new project, and we'll call this tree chop. And we're going to append scene path to drawings, and append scene path to inputs, and append scene path to extras. Hit OK. And now let's create a new scene, and we'll call this tree chopping. So let's go ahead and create scene. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is create a new column, and I'm going to make it a Toonz raster level, and we're going to call this layout. Let's hit OK. And we're going to come down here and choose a raster brush. I like to use this pencil, this 2B pencil, and we're going to change it to a blue color. Okay, that looks good. And so just going to do a quick grid like this. We're just going to freehand it just to get a little bit of reference point for perspective. Okay. And we're going to go in, and I know I want a tree over here that he's going to come out and start like chopping at. Okay, and I want it kind of big like this. We're just gonna kind of rough it in like this. Okay, this is just like a placeholder, just so we can get an idea of the size of everything and the placement. Okay, so there's the tree, and our character's going to come in, and I know I want to have some kind of background back here, so let's just do some hills and maybe another hill really far off in the background like this. And I kind of want to bookend my background just to kind of keep you contained in the center. So I think I want to do like some bushes back here, or trees, yeah, trees, and see what else could we have going on. Over here on the left, let's just do some minor background trees. Like, let's have, you know, maybe a tree like this, and behind it a little bit further back, let's just have a tree like that. And it could have branches, you know, we could work on that later. But again, these are just real simple trees. I really like Looney Tunes style backgrounds and how simple they are. But yet they're just graphically like really interesting, I think, and well designed. Especially the older, you know, Bugs Bunny stuff. And you know, we could have a little bush right here, and maybe some trees way in the background. I just don't want them to take away from what's going on in the foreground. Okay. And let's go ahead and just kind of plan out our character in this shot right here. So let's have him, this is going to be from my video on how to draw Jeb. It was animating in OpenToonz 14, and it's just this little, he's got a big head, just kind of a little square body, stick limbs, and a raccoon hat and a mustache. And if you haven't seen that, go watch it, but I'm just going to draw him right here anyway. So let's go ahead and create a new column, just so we don't have to mess with the layout. And we'll call this character layout. And this way we can just kind of do some pre-planning. So I'm going to bump the opacity down on the background layout and lock it. And let's go ahead and name it BGL for background layout. And we'll call this one DHL for character layout. It's always a good habit to get in to label your columns. Okay, so this will be the character. And I want to reuse this brush from here. So let's create a new one. And we'll make this black and choose pencil. And let's drag this down to project palettes. And now when we go over here to character layout, let's drag this up. And we'll use that second one, this pencil. Oh, no, let's use the blue one again. Okay. Okay, so we're gonna have our character. He's gonna run to the tree and then rear back and just start chopping the heck out of it really fast, okay? And so let's get that initial pose in of him standing at the tree. Okay, and we can change this if we need to. Here's the axe. It's got this axe, and here's his hands. We're just gonna keep it real simple. Real simple. He's got these little legs like this, and he's got this Muppet nose and a mustache. And he's real angry at this tree. Maybe there's something like a squirrel up there, and he needs to chop this tree down to get that squirrel down. He's got this little raccoon hat. Kind of puffy at the end. And it has 3 stripes on it. So 1, this one's dark, 2, that one's dark, and then 3. So it has these 3 dark stripes on it. Okay. It's got these thick eyebrows. Okay. All right. So here he is at the tree. And the fun part is, you know, when he gets up to the tree, you can have him do whatever you want. He could put on his hands and get the axe ready. He could twirl the axe like this and then start chopping. He could look around, make sure nobody's looking. I mean, you can do whatever you want, and that's kind of the fun thing. And that's kind of what we're going to plan out here. And I'm kind of thinking, you know, at first I thought maybe he would just run in. But now I'm kind of thinking I want to kind of have him do this like goofy, like a kind of more of a goofy run in. I don't know why. Like just doot doot doot, you know, like just kind of run in. And so let's have him over here, and maybe his head is kind of lean back a little. I don't know. This might not work. And maybe he's holding his axe like over here like this. And here's his nose. And maybe on this one, it's like, you know, his eyes are more open. And then when he stops, oh, he's angry. And he might be angry getting over there. We'll see. I'm not sure about that yet, but we'll just leave it like that. Boop, boop, boop. So he's gonna, oh, he has these ears and some hair, so we'll go ahead and add those, just so we don't forget about them later. Got suspenders. Just trying to keep it real simple. Boop, boop, boop. So this is just part of my planning. I'm just trying to plan out what's gonna happen. Yeah, I think that's good. My animation teacher would talk about the moment before. So, like, you know, when you fade up your shot, what was happening before we turned on the camera? And so for this guy, he was already starting to run out, you know, so he's not standing static. We see the shot and then he starts to move. Like, he started running and then we fade up. So he's in the middle of his run. Okay. And you can do that with anything. Like if somebody's putting on, like, say, a jacket to leave, when you start your shot, have them in the middle of reaching for their jacket, or they're already like standing up off the couch. Like, what were they doing the moment before we saw them? You know, were they getting a drink of water? Were they having a fight with somebody? Were they, yeah, it could be anything. So that's kind of up to you. Let's go to our rough animation now. So I'm going to create a new column, Toonz raster level, and we will call this character rough. And this is where we'll start actually animating. So let's take this background layout and let's just pull it down and lock it. I just pulled it down to just 41 frames, and that will adjust later. And the character layout we can lock, and we can just turn the opacity down, because we're going to reference it, but it was pretty much just a way to kind of gauge, you know, does everything fit visually in our shot, you know, with the background, is the camera going to move, things like that. So let's call this CHR, character rough, and let's pull up our layout and use the second pencil that we made right here, and we'll start animating. So let's start with this doot 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 coming in, and we're just going to keep it really rough. So this is his. And like this is a decision to make. Do we want that foot up, or do we want it all the way on the ground? I think I want it, let's do it all the way on the ground. And just see how that feels. And let's scoot this up. Like this. I just kind of want to show you the decisions I make and how we get this thing moving, okay? How we get our character animated. So now, you know, if this is his right foot down, now we need to figure out what's he gonna look like with his left foot down. So let's go to a new frame and turn on onion skinning. And we could reuse this. And maybe his head's tilted a little. And this foot's on the ground. And now this one's up in the air like this. Okay, boop, boop. Feel that? So I'm just kind of adjusting based on, you know, when I flip, how it feels. Boop, boop. I like that hip, like that. Okay. And that leg might be a little high in the air, so let's lower it. Okay. Boop, boop. bring it back. Let's curve it back a little this way. Okay. Sometimes it just takes searching for your pose till it feels good for you. And like, I don't like his head tilted this direction, so I'm gonna change the tilts to go, you know, with the angle of the body. That pinching right there. We can clean this up later. It doesn't have to be a masterpiece. So, boop, boop. We're just trying to get our action down. Okay, boop. Head tilts a little much. And these are all decisions, you know, we can make right now where, you know, it's really loose. So let's go to frame 3 and just press with our pencil. Make sure you erase it. There's no dots. We're just going to reuse this one again. So we're going to copy it and paste it. And move it over here. So, boop. You know, and this is, we're kind of thinking, how fast do we want him to get across the screen? Boop, boop, pretty fast, honestly. So, we don't want to mess around too much with him getting across the screen. We want to get to the action. This is just kind of a means to an end. Okay, so let's go to frame 4 and click to set a blank keyframe. And let's go to frame 2, copy it, and paste it. And we just want to see if this is working. And I'm looking at the spacing of the head. So if I turn on onion skinning, do you see how this distance in here and here and in here? Okay, that's kind of what I'm looking at right now. Okay, so do. As we scrub through, we can see him getting across there. Let's go to frame 5 and press with our pencil. Make sure and erase it. And let's copy this and paste this. We're getting close to where we want him to stand. Okay. Well, let's go ahead and get that in there. So let's go. Let's just draw it in here and we'll paste it to frame 6. So it's frame 6 and press. Erase that. Let's go to 1. And my layout drawing, his head's a little big, so shrink it down just a tad. And his body a little big. That's okay. We're just going to adjust it on the fly. Okay, now we're going to take this, cut it, go down to frame 6 and paste it. Okay, so I kind of like how spacing's going. Let's get one more drawing in between 5 and 6. Okay, we'll do this drawing right here, and This will be this foot down. Let's see if we can make it like this. I don't like that. Let's undo that. Okay, let's scoot him over, and we'll have one more in between 6 and 7. And we'll see if that works. Edit, copy, edit, paste. Okay. So here he is. Oh. Okay, I'm just adjusting this stuff based on what's going on. Okay. All right. Let's turn off onion skinning and just go frame by frame and see how this feels. Boom, boom. Okay. Boom, boom, boom. I like his walk in. I'm not crazy about this, how he's stopping right here. I feel like this one needs something before it. So I'll show you what I mean. So if we go to 9, let's see. So here he is. Right before he plants that back foot. I think this needs to be a little bit different drawing than what we have in the other ones. Just so we can get it to boop. Just so we can get it to feel like it belongs with that last pose of him standing there, you know? Boop. Boop. So that will change this one. Let's just delete that one. And sometimes it goes like this. Like I just search and search for what I want to do. Okay. Boop, boop. Boop, boop. Okay, maybe it feels better like that. Okay, let's turn off onion skinning. And do you see how when I auto renumbered, I selected the side and hit auto renumber? See how it says 7A? If we go to drawing and go down to 7, this is the drawing we don't want. So let's right click, cut, and come back to our animation, auto renumber, and see how it fixes it. And by the way, I'm using a Cintiq 22 HD, and my stylus, I have these felt tip nibs, which makes it a little more scratchy on the screen. It kind of makes it feel a little more like pencil. Okay, that's kind of fun. Boop, boop. So now we can either start animating, his arms with the axe and stuff, or we could move on with the animation. I think right now I'm just going to move on. So I'm going to add his axe in here. And I'm just going to scoot it a little bit away from him. Out here, just a hair. That way I can see that hand. Okay. Kind of like that. And I'm going to go ahead and draw his face in here. And let's draw his hat. Do that. Kind of doing like a line of action for it. For this. One, 2, 3. Now we can draw his ears. That way his ear doesn't really interfere with that tail. Okay. Okay. And let's make a note up here, just a circle, to show that this is a key pose. This is a pretty important pose. Okay, so when we start messing with timing, we can still come back and recognize it. Okay, this is our main pose. Okay, now we have more decisions to make. How do we want him to start chopping? What is he gonna do? So let's go to our next frame over here. And let's get him... Man, I think I really want to have him... I think I want to try and have him really come up. Like his head is turning this way. And we'll see if this works. There's his mustache. And his body is like twisted. He's really twisting around. Maybe you see one of his suspenders in the back because he's so kind of twisted. Let's make him a little bit smaller. Let's get his hat in here. Maybe see, kind of like the top of this hat. Like this. Oh no, we can work on that. We can work on that hat later. Okay. Just trying to get the animation in here. So he is going to bring this foot up. And oh man, because he's really gonna start chopping this tree down. He did not come to play. Do we want that foot facing? So these are all just little decisions you kind of have to make, while you're animating. So just trying to feel. I think this back leg is that leg. There, and he pivots up on his toes, and he's reared up. I mean, he is really kind of just twisted. His back leg is really up there. So push it as far as you want, because you can always pull back, but it's hard to go beyond what you haven't drawn, you know. So like, you know, let's say I draw his foot down here. Well, it's, you know, easy to go from this leg position anywhere in between to this one, but it's hard to push it past that. But you could, you know, get it up here, and then if you decide, or your director decides, oh, that's too much, his foot's too high up here, then you have all this room between, you know, this leg and it being up in the air. Like, you could pick any in between position in here. So that's what we're gonna try to do. We're gonna try to, and then let's get this axe. So now we need to imagine maybe the axe, like, I don't know, like maybe back like this. I don't know, he's really, I don't like that. I'm just trying to imagine like what this axe might look like at this angle. I'm just gonna guess, you know, without a character sheet or anything. We're just trying to, you know, his arms are coming this way, like that. I'm wondering if you're gonna even see that arm. I kind of like it. Kind of like it. Maybe what if we just do the axe kind of more? I don't know. I like seeing the shape of the axe. At least somewhat like that. Yeah. Oh, he's really rearing back. I'm just gonna move it. I'm just gonna move it up and over here. To me, that makes more sense. Okay. And he's gonna hold. We're gonna have him hold this. When we get into timing, he'll kind of hold this pose. Still don't like that. Like I said, sometimes it just takes lots of scribbles to try to figure out what you want. For me anyway, I can't just have a perfect drawing right out of the gate. Like, I'm gonna push this even more. I'm gonna have him come up. Let's just get him way up here like this. Right on that tippy toe. Maybe that back leg stretches out more. And then whack, he's gonna start chopping. So let's go to the next frame. just kind of move on, because we can always go back and change that if we need to. So this one, he'll whack. This is where he's gonna chop the tree. Okay. We want everything coming this way. Chop. Maybe we see the top of his hat this direction, and his raccoon tail is dragging like this. I'm not sure yet, like we might change that, but definitely his arms are coming around, and his feet are on the ground. Okay, chop, chop, chop. Oh, I forgot his ear. And, you know, when he comes up here, let's try to have this kind of out of the way. Try to get it. You know, up here somewhere. And then it will come around. Okay. And I think I want to see at least, you know what? Every time he chops, let's have him close his eyes. Ooh. And then he's like, maybe his mustaches, you know, still dragging. Chop. He's really putting his back into it. Let's get his knees bent a little more like this. Okay. So now we need him to come back up, but it's not going to be as extreme as this one. Okay, this will be more of a you know, he's gonna a fast chop. So on 11. So I hope you can see, I'm just trying to tell the story and figure out my drawings. And we can worry about timing later. I just want to get, you know, this is his run in. It's kind of this goofy do 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 do. And kind of get it, you know, spaced out like I want. And then we'll just start breaking it down bit by bit. So let's go. Boom. So now we're on frame 11. And we're going to come back up. So now I need to decide, you know, what's going to happen here. I think I want to have him, you know, still looking at the tree. And maybe this is more of a you know, not so much of an extreme chop right here. So maybe his axe is up here. And maybe that's his arms. That. And maybe that's his line of action. So now he's just chopping. Yeah, chop, chop, chop. So I'm gonna try to get that back foot, that foot right there. And this is where, you know, we could have fun. We could try to do, you know, maybe some drawings of the axe coming up like this. It might be kind of fun. You know, or you could do like, we could try one big kind of blur, you know, blur frame of, okay, here's the axe, and it's coming up. There's the handle. There's his hands. I'm just like drawing multiples of everything, you know, so like his hands. Here's the axe blade. Maybe it's like, yeah. And we could do one frame of it up here. You know, where he's up. Let's see if that works. This is the axe. Coming up. Do you feel that? Now let's see if we can reuse this drawing at 10 again. So let's go to 13 and press, and go to 10. And we'll copy this, go to 13 and paste it. And we'll do the same for 11 and 12. So 11. And 12. It's just kind of a dirty, down and dirty way to do this, but at least it gets us moving. And I know after all the chopping, so he's gonna chop, 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 and then stop and you know, look at the tree. So let's do one more chop at 16. So I'm going to go to frame 16, get my brush and click, erase that. And let's do one more chop. Edit, copy, edit, paste. And now this will be his standing looking at the tree. So let's reference frame 8. this one. Okay. So I'm just gonna do it. I'm gonna do it a little different. Where he's a little more upright. Maybe he doesn't look like he has a poopy diaper. Okay. And this is how I like to work. I like to just stay loose. You know, this will be his raccoon tail and hat. And now he's like, you know, standing there with his axe in his hand. He's like, haha, I chopped it down. But then it's gonna start to fall on him. So he's gonna do this, like, huh? Like, real worried. Like, this ain't good. Maybe his mustache changes expression too, like it droops. Ooh. What? It's angry. And then it drops. This is his. Wait, what? Oh, and we can work on that. That drawing. But then maybe his drops his axe a little, like lowers it. Like, oops. You know, gravity kind of pulls it down. Okay. Okay, we're getting there. And then the tree's gonna fall on him. Okay, spoiler alert. Let's see. Let's go ahead and put this on 2s and just see what it feels like. Make sure to auto renumber, and we're gonna set this. So we're gonna hold every drawing for 2 frames, just to kind of get a feel for what's going on. Now we can kind of start playing with timing, you know. So let's try it on 3s. Okay, I don't have a 3s button. Let's try 4s. Let's see how that feels. That might be way too slow. Let's extend our time down here. Set stop marker. Let's adjust the background layout down. This might be way too slow. Okay, so I like parts of it. I like parts of that speed. So I'll show you what we're gonna do. We're gonna do a rough timing, okay? So let's start adjusting the timing. So let's go do this on 2s, run across. I thought that was kind of funny. Then he stops. We'll hold that. 4 more frames. Oh, I want to change my, see these guidelines right here? I have them at 6. Let's change them to 8s. And that is under scene settings, marker intervals. Let's do intervals 8. Okay, and now we have a guideline every 8 frames. I like that. Okay. Okay, and now he's gonna rear up and hold that and then chop, and we'll do that on 2s. Because we might need more chopping. Now he's gonna stare at it. And it's gonna start to fall. And then he's gonna change expressions. And then bloop, it's gonna fall on him. Okay, it's getting there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in and add, I'm just going to repeat that chopping a couple more times. Chop, 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 chop. And then, but all the other timing's going to stay the same. Okay, so chop. It's going to come up. And so we could even do that on 1s on that whoop, before he comes up. See what that feels like. Let's do everything on 2s, at least 2s. And then we'll adjust our drawings based on the 2 idea. So let me show you. I'm just going to go in here and add a few frames. And so he chops. And then as he comes back up, so 11 and 12. So we're going to reuse those drawings. And I could just type in 11 here to reuse it, but I might redraw this one. That's why I'm creating 17 and as a new drawing, and the same for this one, because I might adjust these, and I don't want it to be a straight copy. So let's go to 18, paste. And now 13 again. But if you're in a hurry or need to save time, production time, you can definitely, reuse drawings, especially on the cleanup part. You don't think it's going to change very much. So it's on 2s, and then whoop. And let's give him few frames to get into this drawing. Okay. There we go. Okay, I'm going to hold him up a little bit longer, and so these are just personal decisions that I'm making as I'm going. So I'm going to hold him in this up position 4 more frames, extend my timeline down, because I really want to get him to, I want him to come up and like ease into that pose and then come out of it really fast. I want to hold it long enough so that it reads. Let's take out 2 there, add 2 there. Starting to fall. That might affect our timing on him as well. I still think he needs another chop in there. So let's add right here. Let's do 11 and 12. and 13. Okay, let's see how that feels. Okay. Okay, how are we feeling about that run in? I think I might add another drawing in between all of these and just slow it down just a bit. Okay, so let's work on that next. Okay, the run in. So let's try to have in between here, let's try to have this up. So this, maybe this foot's starting to come down? I don't know. I've never really... done a run like this, but let's see if we can get it to... This foot's coming up. Like this. Boom. Okay, let's see how that feels. Let's try that on 2s. Okay. Okay, kind of like it. It's kind of goofy. Ooh. So let's add this drawing, you know, where he's kind of on his way down. I guess you'd maybe a passing position, call that. Let's add that in here. We'll just try to get that in and see where we're at. Oops. See how he's kind of in the air like that. Set that on 2s. Yeah, I kind of like that. It's kind of a do-do-do-do. I thought I'd renumber this real quick, just so we don't lose track. And let's get rid of that 5 to make that 5A cleaner. Now we need one in here. So this could be reuse of this. Okay, let's put that on 2s. And auto renumber, just to keep everything nice and clean and matchy. This is the in-between for the other one. And so now, like, we can start to see, like, maybe, you know, maybe it'd be fun if, you know, if this drawing right here was more of a, like a, you know, bent knee type situation. You know, like if this was scooted down and kind of, you know, more of like a squash type. I don't know. We just see if it works. Then he pops up. Okay, let's get this on 2s. And we get that in here. And you can play with, like, you know, moving this really high. Let's see what that feels like. You know, boop, 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 boop. That's kind of fun. A little too high for what I'm looking for, but I don't know. Just play around, have fun. Yeah. Boop, boop, boop. Yeah, just kind of a goofy run. I kind of like it. Okay. And then, now that we have the run, and we have basically our chopping blocked in. Yeah, I like it. Okay, so now that we have it kind of roughed in, the next phase is, let's go ahead and auto renumber, make sure everything's good, save it, and we could go ahead and, you know, this is a key pose, and he chops away, and then this is a key pose, and oh, when he changes expression, that's a key pose. That way we can just kind of keep track once we start moving all this stuff around, you know? Okay, so what I'm going to do is go in and just work on what we've been working on. Like, I'm going to work on this run. I'm going to go in here and add, you could do this on another column if you wanted, the axe and arms. I'm going to do it all on this drawing, because I feel like for me, I can have it flow and like go together better, you know, if it's all on one drawing. The other way, for me, it starts to feel like a cutout animation. And like, see here, I can drag the head of the axe like this, and then I can, you know, bring it down like this if I want. The only thing with this way is, like, if I start erasing all this like that, I mess up the body, but I'm okay with that, because it's just going to be my rough, scribbly, you know, I'm just trying to get it animated. Okay, this is day 2 of working on this. So on the first part, it took about an hour, and I've worked on it about an hour and a half since then. So he comes in and he raises up and he starts chopping, chop, chop, chop. And then he stops and looks at it, because it's going to start falling, okay? And I'm okay with not having eyes and nose on the run-in, because I know I just kind of want to keep his face the same, so I'm just gonna clean that up later. And then in through here, what I did is just repeated the chop. So he comes down and chop, so that's at 69. And then I did 71, 72 is him back up, and 74 he's starting to come out of the chop, and then 69, and then I just repeat 69, 71, 72, 74, 69, 71, 72, 74, okay? And so that he just pretty much does the same chop over and over, chop, chop. And I added little pieces of bark, like effects, just on that drawing, but you could do that on a separate column. It's up to you. So I want to get working on the tree. So right now I have 3 columns. I have the background, and this is like character layout. We did that. And this is the character rough animation. So now I want to get this tree in here. And what we're going to do is create a new column, add Toonz raster level, and we'll call this tree, we'll call it tree fall, because this is the tree that's going to fall down. And we want another like stump right here, and let's rename this TF tree fall. Okay, drag my brushes up. So I'm just going to use the same brush for this. And let's start drawing our tree. And I'm just going to cut and paste it and redraw it as I need to. I'll show you what I mean. So we have the tree. And let's extend it down. And to where he starts chopping. Which is, yep, right there, frame 69. Oops, I want to lock that column, those other columns, just so when I start editing this tree, they don't move, okay? There we go. Okay, so the idea here is I want to get a chopping mark in here. So I'm going to create a new empty keyframe. Go back to this one and edit. You know what? Let's draw the whole tree. Let's just get the whole tree in here. Okay, so now let's copy it. Edit, copy. And come down here, edit, paste. And like maybe, boom, he hits it, and maybe there's a slight notch in it, like this. So as he comes out, you see that little notch? And it's just gonna get bigger and bigger. So he comes up and boom, he hits it again. So let's do this at 75. And we'll just make a little bit bigger notch. Comes up and boom. This is at 81. So let's go a little bit bigger. And boom, he hits it again. Boom, right there, 87. So let's go a little bit bigger. Maybe you start to see that bottom stump, the rings of it. And chop one more. Chop right there, 93. Okay. Oops, and I didn't cut and paste the tree into each one of those, so let's go ahead and do that real quick. Edit, copy, edit, paste, and let's just hide this dude real quick. Okay, tree, a little bit bigger notch. And then, yeah, I'm gonna undo that. So let's go to this frame, edit, copy, edit, paste, edit, paste, edit, paste. I'm gonna have to clean that up just a little in here. This one's a little bit bigger, but not as big as this one. So let's go this. Okay, just getting that chop in there. And it should grow. It should look like it grows. Okay, and that's gonna start tipping over. So it's like chop, chop. Let's let him settle a little. And he's gonna look at it. And now, like right here, we could have it start to tip over. Let's do edit, copy, edit, paste. And it's gonna start coming over like this. Like slow out of that. I'll have to see, draw the back of it. We're gonna do this on 2s. Okay. So let's copy this one. Paste it. And we're gonna tip it over just a little bit more. That's the pivot point. So it's starting to fall. We could just color that in. It might be kind of nice. Okay. Okay, let's extend this out. We might need to extend that just a little bit. So let's start our start marker up here and end marker like right here. Yeah. So when he stops chopping at 101, we're gonna slowly start to rotate this over. Okay, so edit, copy, edit, paste. So what I'm going to do is take this one and bring it back a little, like this. So it's starting to go. It's a little further. That might be a little too far. Oops. Bring it back. This. And then I think maybe that's about as far as I wanted to go over. So let's add some space in here and do an in-between in here. This tree, edit, copy, edit, paste. I hope this is making sense. So I want to get it, I'm going to pull it back a little for the in-between right in here. And maybe it slows into that extreme. And so this is the extreme right here of the tree. Just do like a little circle right here for, and this is the tree. Okay. So we're going to ease into that. So let's add some frames. Copy this one. Come back, paste it. We're going to rotate it. And so it's slowing into that. Okay. So we could do something like that. Okay, let's just hit play. That still might be too fast. Yeah, it's a little fast. So let's spread this out on 4s. Just to slow it down. Okay, see how that feels. Yeah, I kind of like that. And I still think we could ease into this a little bit more. So let's create another drawing in here. And we'll copy this and paste this. And this is our halfway. It's like easing into that. We're gonna put that on 4s as well. Okay, and let's let's ease into it a little bit more. Okay, so go here, I just kind of want it to really just kind of slow down, and then it's going to quickly come back the other way. That's why I'm doing this. Paste. And hopefully it will make sense. So it's right in between there like that. We'll put that on 4s. You feel it slow in? We could have it start moving earlier if we wanted. Like say, you know, this is the last chop right here. We could have it start moving you know, like say 96. Right there, see that? Okay, and still a little fast, so I'm just kind of showing you how to slow this down, okay? So like if we want to ease out of this a little bit more, let's add some frames. Set a blank key, come in here, copy this, paste it. We want to go in between these two drawings to get it to slow out like that. And do you feel that? That's a pretty big jump from there to there. So let's add a drawing in there. Right in here. Edit, copy, paste. So on this one, we just need to pull it back just a hair. Yeah. Okay, so let's hit play. And then it's gonna almost stop and then come back and squishy. Okay. There we go. So now let's get let's see, 1, 2. Let's just do this on 2s at first and see how it feels. So let's just copy this. Edit, paste. We can redraw it as we need to. So it's gonna hit like this. It's gonna come back. And I think I want to have... I think I want to have this go this way when it starts coming back. Like that. And then when it starts to fall, yeah, this will be this direction. Okay. So you're not seeing the inside of the tree at this point. And we'll draw the stump in a little bit. So it's coming down and edit, copy, edit, paste, and we'll have to redraw the top of the tree, but now the pivot is like right here. Okay. And we want it to ease out of that one, but faster than the last one. It feels really quick, but I want it to read, so it's coming back towards him. And then he's like, oh crap, he notices it. So I'm just gonna keep playing with like moving him down. And I might need to extend that fall out just a little bit longer. So I can always shorten it. Yeah, it's feeling better. And I'm losing the background, so let's extend it down. Okay. So we're getting down in this section. Oh no. And so at some point we're going to make this really quick. We're going to make the tree fall really quick. So edit, copy, edit, paste. So let's try edit, copy, edit, paste. So it's already like one over. So what we'll do is we'll go back to this drawing of him and we'll create a new drawing, and we'll just take this, edit, copy, paste it here, and let's just delete him like that. Keep it simple. And then bloop. This is where the tree is squished him completely. Oops. We can scoot it out away, a little bit of space in there, and we'll just go back here to him, and we'll just delete him completely. And give it a few frames to kind of settle. Okay. And I lost my background again. So let's get that in there. Lock it. And let's reset our rotation and hit play. Okay, it's a little fast, so it just takes trial and error. So I'm gonna go in and kind of slow down that tree, and just kind of get it, and then thing quick. So it's like slow, oh, and then boom. Okay, I want a certain rhythm to it, and right now it's a little fast. Okay, now that we have the timing all worked out, let's go ahead and just take a look at it. And so now we could go in, if the layout of the tree bothers you, you can go in here and just erase it. Just gonna get the eraser tool. We could lasso select it, delete, and let's lock that layer. And then a couple of other things I noticed, like I might add a, like right in here, a blink, maybe a blink before he looks up. And so the way I would do that is his look up is at 171. So I think I want to do this on 2s. So I can have right in here, we could just copy this drawing and paste it. I'm just going to redraw it real quick, and I'm going to turn off onion skinning. And this way, like, it helps me get used to drawing the character, you know. So maybe let's just do like something like this. Just gonna blink down this hat in here. Okay, get that in. And he's such a simple character. It really doesn't take long to just redraw him. This axe in here. Okay. Boom. And we could even cushion up into that 171. So let me show you how to do that. So I really like the timing and I want him to stay the way he is right here. So let's do this 171 and let's add 2 frames, and then we're going to take 2 frames away from here, and that will put this 171 drawing right back to 171, and that will let us put a drawing in between 167 and 171. Okay, and this will be like, we're gonna kind of favor this. He's coming out of the blink. Okay, there's the blink and he's coming out of it. So what we're gonna do is kind of just come out of this blink. Okay, we're just gonna pop the eyes open. And like we could have them a little bit lower and drift up. We could try that. See that? So he's kind of looking like right here, and then in the next frame he's looking more up that way. Okay. Let's just try that. And his hat line kind of moves up a little. And you know, when we clean up, we can adjust this. We can get him back on model. I just want to get those eyes, boom, popped open, and him looking up. See, here his hat line, I drew it a little too low, but that's okay. And I forgot his arms, it's okay. Like, you could go back and do a cleanup, or like more of a refined animation pass. I'm not going to do that though. So, boom. So now if we need to ease into that a little bit more, we could just create some space, take some frames out of up here, and that puts us back in line, 171. Okay, and then we could do another drawing right in here to just kind of ease into that if we want. And we're just keeping it loose because we know, you know, we know we're easing into that. So let's just quickly, let's just get this in here like this. Okay. So now when we hit play, oh, do you feel him like drift up into that? He's, let's do the start marker at 101. And like on that blink, he could come down and squash. You know, his knees could bend a little. We can just kind of fake it. Okay. And if that squash isn't, you know, if that blink isn't reading well enough, we could hold it one more frame, but we need to take out a frame somewhere. So let's take it out here. Okay, do you feel that? The blink's a little bit longer. I'm gonna move that down. I like it on 2s. Let's scoot that up. We'll take out a frame up there. There we go. Almost like a gulp. So yeah, I mean, you can do, you know, whatever you want. It's your animation. So just have fun with it. Add that arm in. You could have him start to try to run away. You know, he sees it and he's like, oh, and does a scramble and tries to run away. I'm just gonna have him stand there and look at it like, oh. And then like, see here, the hat, like the tail on the hat. See how it just pops, boom, right there. So we could start to get it going down sooner. I think I'm going to do that. No, so maybe it drags a little. Then maybe this one, maybe it's easing into that drawing. Yeah, it's just something you can play with. I don't like the shape of that, so I'm going to redraw it. And sag it down a little. You know, it's all experimenting. It's all just trying to see what works, and I don't like that, so I'm going to redraw that one. Okay. And you could even drag, and so, you know, these drawings are on, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'm holding this drawing for 6, but if you want to smooth out that tail, you know, like, you'd want to get this on 2s at least, 2s or 3s. But I'm just gonna save that for the cleanup. But like right here, you know, we could drag it a little like this, and then that would change this one. Now maybe there's not a bend in it. Maybe it just. It's coming up right there. Then back down. Okay, do you feel that? It's kind of dragging down. But I need a few more drawings in there to get it to kind of smooth out. Yeah, otherwise it just needs to come down to this. Okay. Hope that makes sense. Hey, that looks pretty good. Okay, so now that we've done this, let's go ahead and move on to ink and color. Okay. So what we're going to do is take the character layer and we're going to drop the opacity down, and we're going to do the same for the background, which it doesn't really need to be that low just because it's blue. And this will be the effects. I didn't label that, so let's label it. And we'll do the opacity down on that. And the tree, let's bump that down. And let's lock all of our layers and create a new Toonz raster level, and we'll call this ink. Let's do ink. Character ink. Character ink. Because I might do a separate ink layer for the tree. Okay, let's move this up here. And I have my animation starting on 9 because I know I'm going to fade up. So I'm just going to pull this down to 9 like this. And I'm going to find a brush that I like. And so let's go down here to raster. I'm not sure if you can see that because of my image, but I can pull it up here. Okay. So the one I like is this Kabura. And let's see how that feels. I want to get it pretty thin. And the idea here is to mainly just make sure that you close off all of your lines. Okay, let's try that and see. So I'm going to start with his head, and I know I'm going to pull this down to that frame 13 or 11 to where I see his head, and then let's just start drawing his. Let's get his hat in here. We'll kind of make it a little wavy like this. And let's get, I don't think I want his eyes to come up over the hat, so let's just get them in like this. And definitely the eyebrows can be on top of the hat like that. Okay, I'm going to try to get them just all filled in like this. Let's get his pupils in here. And I'm going to scoot his nose down a little. And I know he's kind of coming down, so I'm going to kind of flare out the tips of his mustache. And he has an ear. And he's got some hair. So I don't really have like a, really defined model sheet for this guy. I'm just kind of guessing what I want here. But I've drawn him quite a few times before, so. So let's get, okay, kind of like that. So now we can use this head if we want in other places. So like, as he's coming down, see, as he's coming down, I think this is where I want his mustache to drag, so I'm just gonna cut that and paste it here. Yeah, because he's coming down. And so when we go back to this drawing, we can use this as our reference. So we could turn off our character, come back, and we could use this as like, well, let me just show you how we could do it as a starting point. So let's copy it, come back here and paste it, and turn on our rough animation layer again. And so like we could rotate the head forward, and as he comes down, do you feel that? His head could rotate back. And his mustache, I'm gonna bump the hardness up because our brush is really kind of hard. So oops, that's where he is coming down. So I want to leave the mustache like that there. Then up here, maybe we could have it like this. Okay. You feel that as he comes down, his mustache flares out. Okay, and we could go ahead and get like the hat in here, and I think I want to do these little like wisps of hairs on it. So 1, 2, 3, because it is a raccoon hat, so might be fun to kind of show that texture. And then I just need to remember to do it right here. You know, something like that. Then 1, 2, 3, 4. So, like, as you can tell, I'm just kind of being really loose with it. I know there's 4 stripes on that tail, so I'm just kind of eyeballing it and winging it, and hoping for the best. I think it'll work out. So let's get his body in here. And I think I want to bend that knee a little. Okay, and I definitely want to make his legs and arms a little bit thicker, but after I get him all drawn, I'll increase the brush size and then go back over the limbs. And it should only just take a second. So let's get this in here. He's gonna have these black feet like that. And this in here. And he does have overalls. And I might even do his axe. I might do his axe on another level. Okay. Make sure that's closed off. Okay, so let's get this body in here, and I'm just trying to keep it the same size as the other drawing. And see, like I'm just taking some liberties in here. Okay, and like I don't like how that look, so I'm gonna shave that off. And I think it'll be fine. Okay, so we're just gonna go through every frame and just in inking, okay? And I'll be back in a second. Well, it's gonna take a while, so I'll see you in a little bit. Okay, I'm done with the inking. So let me hit play. And he chops the tree. And it comes back. Boop. Okay, so let me show you how I broke this down when I got to the inking. So I created a column for the stump. And let me show you that. So there's no drawings all the way down until this frame. Okay, so I just turned it off. So this is the stump. And what I did is I drew the stump on frame 103, and then I pasted it to the actual tree layer up here on frame 5. So you see if I hide the stump, it's still there. That's because it's part of this layer. So I just pasted it, drew the top of the tree, and drew the part where he chops at the tree. So if we go to the tree part, I just hold the tree from 1, and then I pasted it into frame 85, and then drew this little mark right here where he's chopping, and then chop, chop, and then here the stump disappears and the tree actually just does that. Okay, and then the effects cloud I did on a new layer, and so I don't have anything drawn on the dust layer until I actually need it right here. Boom. And another thing I did is I animated him, or I inked his head and the raccoon hat tail, his body and legs, and off to the side I drew an axe, and I just pasted the axe into each frame and then moved it up and down and rotated it. And then I went on top and drew his hands and arms. And I filled the axe in with this temporary color, just so I wouldn't see through to his body. And that was just easier than trying to draw the axe on every frame and then try to erase behind the handle and do all that. I just kept it separate, okay? And the same for this tree right here. The idea is once I fill it in, let me unhide the trunk. So once I fill this tree in with color, let me find the tree, and I'll just pick this random color. So now let's fill it in and just see if it fills. Yeah, there we go. And so with these parts, you can use this little paintbrush up here and just paint, and it won't affect your lines. And let's fill in the bottom part. Okay, so now let's unhide the stump. So see how this part's in front of the stump, and that's what I want. So when I go in and color each frame, it's going to hide this top part of the stump. Okay, do. Chop, chop, chop. And that was the frame we colored, and boop. Okay, so now I'm going to go in and pick out my colors for the characters. And I think I'm going to do that by going to how to draw Jeb. And I think I have, yeah, some colors already in here. So I think I'm going to pull from these colors. Let's see, open with photos. Yeah, I think I mostly like these. I like that gray and the light gray for the axe. I like his shirt color. I'll probably do a little bit darker color for the nose. And so since I'm colorblind, one thing I like to do is I will go to Krita, and let's open this up in Krita. Okay. Let's go in here and how to draw a jib. You know what? Let's check out these colors. Yeah, I think I like these better. I think I might use most of these. And so what I'll do is I'll go in and color pick like his skin. And then I will look at the hex code for this color. So let's go up to here and find the hex code. And I'll copy that and see if it pastes into OpenToonz. Let's go to his character ink and create a new color. We'll call this skin. And we will enter our hex code. Let's see. Here we go, hex. So I click these three little lines down here and click hex, and it pops up this little, oh, you can't see it because my thing's in the way. Here we go. Okay, right down here, on the very far right, you can click hex. These three little lines down here, just toggle that on, and now we can paste the hex code and hit enter. And so this will be his skin. So I'm just going to start coloring him. And we'll just go through every frame and color him. Okay, so I'm going to pick some colors over here and just go through and color everything except for the background, okay? But I am going to color the tree that I animated and the stump. And I'll see you in a little bit. Okay, sometimes it just takes a while to ink and color. And what I'm going to do is go to scene settings, and then click on this little square right here and change the background to kind of a lighter kind of gray. And that way, when I fill in my puff, my dust clouds, I can see if I'm actually filling them in. I'm just going to go through each frame, fill them in. And I haven't colored the tree yet, and probably what I'll do is wait until I make the background in Krita and use the color from that. Because I might want to do a colored outline around the tree instead of just black. So let me fill these in. Okay, just a few more. And let's make sure we got them all. Oh, there's some. Okay, let's go through and see if we, yeah, that looks good. And And I have the character all colored in. Let me show you what he looks like. Chop, chop, chop. And boom. Okay, so slowly but surely we're making progress. And for me, this has been a multi-day thing just because I've had, you know, life happen. And so I've just had to kind of revisit it and make adjustments. But it's still pretty much the rough that we started out with, just ink and colored. And so now I'm gonna work on the background, okay? So let's head on over to Krita and I'll kind of show you my process for that. Okay, so here we are in Krita, and this is the reference image I used to create this, and this is from Looney Tunes. It's one of their backgrounds, and I really like it. I just think they have a really neat style, and I'm just going to use this for inspiration. I'm leaving out the wall, and you know, but I like this idea of two trees in the background, one in the foreground, the kind of hills and trees in the background. So let's pull from some of these colors and see if we can't make something happen, okay? So I'm going to turn down the opacity on my foreground, and I'll probably just build this up in layers. So let's create a new layer, and I'm actually going to go in here and grab this kind of base grass texture, and when I zoom in I see it's dark and it gets light to that side, so I might try something like that. Okay, let's just lay down a base color for now. So let's start this. I'm going to leave this foreground tree out. Okay. And I'm going to leave that, well, you know, let's deselect it. Deselect. And we'll turn on this little button over here to only work in the alpha. I mean, just the parts that are colored. So I'm going to get my brush. So let's try this. This stamp. And let's change the color. Let's make it darker. And let's just see what this feels like. I'm going to up the brush size, and I'm going to bring the opacity way down. And this will kind of darken this up over here and give it a little bit of texture. Kind of like that. Okay, so let's grab our base color again and go lighter this time. Now let's come over here, do the same thing, but see how it's just kind of adding this light kind of texture. I'm not sure if you can see that on the screen, but there we go. Okay, so that's that, and now I want to add these squigglies. So let's go back to our brush. And you can use any brush here. I made some custom brushes, just that I kind of like. Now let's go darker. Let's go pretty dark down here. Yeah, we're just gonna go over sample count. I'm gonna bring this down so I can freehand a little easier. Okay, and it doesn't have to be perfect. I like the spontaneity of this, and you know, just kind of like the freehand look. I'm just gonna add some lines. Like I said, do whatever you want. This is just kind of how I like to do it. Just adding these lines in here. Kind of like leaves. Okay. And let's make that a little bit darker. Duplicate layer. I know this isn't a Krita video, but I just wanted to show you my process. Okay, so it's a little darker like that. And now let's check out the background. Okay, we got these hills in the back, so let's just color pick like that. And we'll drop underneath this layer and just get these. Let's just do 2 like that. And edit fill. And there's another hill back there. Let's see what color they have. So we could do a little bit lighter. That might be kind of fun. Grab something like that. And edit fill. That's not didn't change very much, did it? Okay, let's lighten it up. So let's go a lighter value and let's saturate it a little bit more. Edit fill, because we're pushing it back, and we could even add a little bit of blue to it. Just kind of that atmospheric. Okay, kind of like that. Yeah, see how it kind of pushes it further back. Okay, now let's get these background trees in. So new layer, and I should be labeling all of this, but you know, feeling kind of lazy right now. So we're just gonna draw with this. Like this. And fill that in. And let's come over here. Just gonna draw with the lasso tool. Fill that in. And select, deselect. Another fun thing I like to do, let's see, I'm gonna hide this rough, okay? So we have the background, and I'll get my pencil and create a layer on top of this one and darken it up, the color, something like this. And then just do like a crazy loose outline like that. I kind of dig that. Yeah, it's a little dark. Let's go right in here. Yeah, so it's kind of cool. And just, you don't have to draw exactly on, you know, just kind of purposely getting off lines here. I just kind of like that. I think it looks kind of cool. And let's get the background in. So I'm just gonna straight up grab the blue they have. Okay. And now let's work on these trees. Do I want to do them the same color? Yeah, why not? Let's try that. Let's try the colors they have. I think they're kind of cool. Move this off to the side. And we'll put it like right in here. Let's take and label this rough. And let's put all of our foreground stuff in a we'll put all this into a group. And we'll collapse it. And this will be our background. And we can delete this background. Okay. So here's our rough. Let's draw our tree in here. And get a little bit of texture on it. And we'll do the leaves. And let's go ahead and do the background tree. Let's just get this one in here as well. Okay. Okay, so now we're gonna duplicate this layer, and we're gonna go to the bottom layer and we're gonna fill this in. We're gonna grab this color, fill this tree. Oops, it went inside there. So let's fix that. Yep, I should have made sure and closed off all my lines, but that's okay. We got it, we got it. And let's go in here. Okay, and the background tree, let's do like that. And the leaves, they share the same color leaves. We could do something like this. Hide the rough. Okay, so this is our ink layer and this is our color layer. So what we could do is turn on the where you paint only where there's color. And get our brush. And let's pick a color. We'll try to get this like color they have right there. See what that looks like. And we'll just go over the lines like this. And the leaves are a little bit darker. Ooh, and that, I want that one darker, so you know what? Let's try that color. Oh yeah, I kind of like that. Yeah. And then we'll take this color, we'll just darken it way down like this. We'll color the leaves. Let's go even darker. Okay, it's kind of cool. I like it. And that's what's important, right? Is if we like it. And now we need to work on this foreground tree. So that is all of that. And yeah, we already have this in OpenToonz. So I'm going to pull some of these colors out of this image when I get inside OpenToonz. Okay. So let's save this as a PNG and go back to OpenToonz and we'll import it and use it as our background, okay? Okay, so here we are back in OpenToonz. Let's go to frame 1 And let's just get off of all of these levels, and then let's go to our image, and I put it in my art folder. Just gonna drag it in. I saved it as a PNG. I'm just gonna drag it in here and drop it. And oh, voila. So let's name this BG for background and drag it all the way to the left. And we'll extend it all the way down through our whole animation. Okay. And our character actually looks pretty good in there, doesn't he? Okay. Let's turn off the rough. Okay, so the foreground tree, I think I want to pull the color from this tree. Let's see how dark this color is. So let's grab it and go back to OpenToonz. And this might work. I'm just going to use that temporary color I had. I don't want it to conflict with the character too much. But we'll see. I'm gonna lock the background layer. Okay. Oh, I need to switch back to OpenToonz. So I have a G13 gaming pad right here, and so it switches. I have it set up for each program like Krita, OpenToonz, Blender. I need to reset it to have my hotkeys. Okay. I kind of like that. Okay, that's why it's really important to close your lines. And I have a feeling it's up here. Yep. Okay, let's zoom out. And so this bottom part, the stump, we'll do the same. We'll do the same kind of color. I had already filled the stump white, so I just replaced that. So let's go back to our tree. Let's see what that looks like. Okay, kind of like it. Okay, so I'm going to go through real quick and color the rest of this tree. Okay, so let's unhide our character and go to frame 1 and hit play and see how he looks. Yeah, I really like it. So thanks for watching, and I hope you had fun through this little example. And until next time, happy animating, and I'll talk to you later.